Welcome to A Day in the Life of the Superstars. We have a very, very unique young lady with us today, a longtime customer, a great friend, and a great agent from Flagstaff, Arizona, Miss Valerie Caro. Valerie, thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much.
So your last couple of years, your business has really grown, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
And I mean, you're going to do 130 deals this year, which in Flagstaff is a lot of business.
Right.
You have to sell the whole town twice. Okay? That's a big deal. And you'll make over $1 million in Flagstaff, correct?
Right.
Which I would think, and I don't know this for a fact, would make you one of the most successful people in the entire town.
Well, thank you very much for saying that. Yes.
I would think there's not many people that make more money than you do in the entire town. What's the population of Flagstaff?
Flagstaff, 65,000.
And, I mean, does it strike you at all that you're driving around town, you and your husband, and you're probably one of the most financially successful people in the entire town? Does that ever ring your bell, or do you even think about that kind of stuff?
I don't even think about that.
How come?
Well, you know, I just think that when my husband and I are driving around town, I'm off duty basically, and we have a totally different lifestyle together than we do in the business.
Okay.
So it's really separated.
Now, does your husband technically works for you?
No.
He doesn't get involved in the business at all?
No.
Because, see, everybody keeps saying, well, the reason Valerie succeeds, she's got this strong, powerful husband behind her running the business. But the truth is, he has his own company, doesn't he?
He does.
Good.
Yeah.
Tell him what he does.
He's been in the property management business for 43 years.
And big time.
Yeah.
And very successful.
Yeah, he's been successful.
Because it's interesting how we have so many dominant female customers, as you know. And everybody always says it's because the husband runs the business behind it. But you actually do the running the business, you do the sales, you do the listings, you do it all yourself, don't you? Good for you. So 3 years ago, how many deals were you doing?
Well, 3 years ago, I was just getting involved with MFO, and I was involved in a condominium project, and my resale deals basically for the year was 13.
Okay. So you've had rather a large expansion. How do you explain that? To go from 13, 15 deals to 130?
Well, I actually just listened to what you said and did what my coaches told me all the time. I didn't fight it, and I'm probably very coachable, and I put a lot of stock in what you say, and I want to be successful like the people I hang around with all the time, basically.
Okay. So, but there has to be more to it than that. These people are going to sit down and say, you know, I've been doing 15 deals a year for 10 years and I've never broken out of that. What were some of the things that caused you to make that incredible breakthrough that you made?
Well, I actually was exposed to people doing a lot more. And in Flagstaff, the bar is, you know, just pretty much set here.
Just below the dirt.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so when I was, and trust me, at 13 deals, I was a hot shot.
Yeah.
I thought, woo, I'm making a ton of money. Okay, so then I got around, you know, Karen Bernardi, Hal Swayze, Michael Young. I mean, all of these people which are so inspiring to me, and they're doing these huge numbers. And I said, oh my gosh, what else am I doing during the day? I want to do that.
Sure.
And so that's what I really focused on.
So you virtually had to change almost entirely what you did every day.
Absolutely.
Now, your husband is a tremendous supporter of yours in terms of this business. He must look at you and say, who is this lady? I mean, here's this lady that was the love of my life doing 13 deals. Now she's making $1 million a year. I mean, between your husband and your friends and your family, that had to be a big shock and transition.
Actually, I hope he's not watching this. I didn't tell him. He doesn't really know a lot about my business. I showed him my profit and loss statement for the first time this last month, and he said, wow, I had no idea how much you make.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, so it's great.
Flagstaff is horse country.
Flagstaff's in the mountains, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a big metropolis.
There's no Nordstrom.
No, it's not like being in downtown Phoenix or downtown LA.
No.
You're a country girl.
Right.
Okay. How long have you lived there?
I've lived in Flagstaff for 33 years.
And you came from where?
Southern California.
Whereabouts?
We lived in Downey.
Okay.
I was born in Alhambra.
Okay, so you came from being an LA girl to a country girl.
Right.
And why did you guys move from the city to the country?
Well, I was 10, and my parents made me.
Okay, so that was it.
Yeah.
And you became a horseback girl, and you became a cowgirl.
I'm a cowgirl, yes.
Okay, you're a cowgirl at heart.
Yes.
So we want to take a look at your daily schedule because, guys and gals, she has a very unique schedule. I get to coach Valerie personally, and I will tell you in advance, at 3 o'clock every day, she goes home and rides horses, correct?
Yep.
Every day.
Yep.
I mean, so, you know, she works from 6, 7:30 in the morning till 3 o'clock, makes $1 million a year, and then from 3 o'clock on, she's a cowgirl. She's shooting guns and, you know, setting traps and building fences and riding horses. You do all the things that a cowgirl does, don't you?
Absolutely.
So let's talk about your day.
Okay.
Wait, let's not talk about the cowgirl yet.
Okay.
Let's talk about the day when you're working. What time do you normally get to the office?
I get to the office at 6:15 every day.
And the reason for that is?
It's quiet. There's nobody else there. I can get a lot done in a short length of time.
And you want to be out of there at 3.
Wheels leave the tarmac at 3.
Okay, we'll leave the tarmac at 3 every day.
Yep.
Okay, and how long before you get on the horse?
I'm usually on my horse saddled by 3:34.
Okay, so you're not wasting any time.
No.
So would you say that one of your expertises for the last 4 years has become time management?
Absolutely.
Okay, so 6:15 in the office, what do you do for that first hour?
I listen to your daily message is the first thing that I do. The second thing I do is listen to a daily conversations message.
Sure.
I check my email quickly. I have a lot of clients on the East Coast, and it's 9:15 where they are, so
Sure.
I can do a lot of East Coast business at that point in time. And I do role plays.
Okay.
I have accountability calls during that time, and
You do a lot in 1 hour.
I know. Well, you can do a lot in 1 hour if the phone isn't ringing the whole time, if you're not having distractions from your staff.
Okay. So why do you have clients on the East Coast?
Why do I?
Yeah.
Because they own property in Flagstaff.
Okay, so it's a place for them to come, vacations, weekends, to visit, to relax, and so forth.
Yeah, Flagstaff's a great mountain community. It's very outdoorsy. It's at 7,000 feet in Arizona with pine trees and trails. It attracts a lot of people, actually.
Skiing in the winter?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, there's a ski resort there.
So 7:15 to, say, 8:15, what do you do?
In that length of time, I actually start prospecting at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So that 45 minutes, I will usually extend my my role plays. Some of them are during that point in time as well. Like I said, I return emails,
Okay.
and I will call actually early morning clients at that point in time too.
Okay. So your clients expect you to call them early to set appointments.
Absolutely.
How much prospecting do you do each day?
Well, I do approximately 2 hours a day.
Okay, so 8 to 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I go on listing appointments, or I have appointments at 11 and 1 every day.
So listing appointment, showing appointments also?
I have a pretty high minimum standard for a buyer,
Okay.
so I mostly go on listing appointments all the time.
So you don't put a lot of buyers in your car?
No.
Because?
Oh, because it's too small.
Okay.
So
Your
I
car's
did that
too
by
small.
design.
What kind of car do you drive?
A 2011 CTS-V, 556 horsepower coupe.
Yes, so it's small.
Yes.
Okay. So putting 3 buyers with 2 kids ain't going to work.
No,
And that's on purpose.
Right.
So how much of your business is listing sold versus buyer-controlled sales then?
80% of my business is listing sold. The other 20%, my dad works with me,
Okay.
and I refer him buyers all the time. I have one other, my transaction coordinator just transitioned into a buyer's position as well.
Okay.
And we just have I generate a lot of buyers that I need to basically refer out.
Good. So 2 hours of intense prospecting, 5 years ago you would never have done that.
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay. Was that a hard transition for you?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
What was the hardest part?
Well, just sticking to the schedule, because I'm expressive and I like to be distracted. So just actually shutting the doors and going to work basically is the toughest part of that.
Almost everybody talks about the fact that people at your level of production have big goals sitting out there someplace you're trying to get to. Was the goals at all involved in this 13 to 130 transactions in the last 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, and I have a goal board that is right next to my desk, and it's inspiring to me. It pretty much involves a lot of cowgirl stuff. So.
Okay. Okay. So 2 listing appointments a day is what you try to do. What if you don't have appointments? What do you do?
I'll probably end up doing some, unfortunately, like broker management. Being a small company and having my own company is a double-edged sword. In one sense, I'm able to actually control the environment, and I don't allow anything toxic in there. On the other hand, I am the broker, so I do have a lot of broker responsibilities.
How many agents do you have working for you?
Just 2.
But these are not your showing agents. These are independent agents that happen to work in your small company.
Yeah, basically my dad and Danny.
Okay. And they just list and sell on their own, separate from you.
Yeah, my dad just does buyers, and actually I've aligned my company as of July 1st to where Danny, who is my transaction coordinator, is taking all of the distressed properties, short sales, bank-owned properties,
Good.
and she's working those 100%. So my numbers, so I can focus 100% on equity sellers.
Good.
And just work that area.
So you're really a listing agent, pure and simple.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, it's 2 o'clock, and you've had 2 appointments. What happens from 2 to 3:01 when you bolt out the door?
From 2 o'clock, depending on where my listing appointment is, and I try to have as many at the office as possible. So I might be done at 1:20.
Okay.
So that time frame, changes a little bit. I'll probably end up returning a bunch of calls. I will book myself for those 2 appointments maybe at least 5 to 10 days out.
Okay.
So there's follow-up calls. There's questions.
Normal preparation.
Yeah, normal preparation kind of for the next day. Any negotiating contracts. That's what I'll do during that length of time.
Okay, so at 3 o'clock, you really do every day leave.
I do.
So you guys and gals got to be clear on this. At 3 o'clock, she's out of there. Okay, I mean, but you've
Yeah.
been there now for 9 hours.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay. So then you take off, and you guys, do you own like a ranch you live on?
Yeah.
Okay, how big?
Yeah. Well, this last year we just added 5 acres, so it's 15 acres now.
Okay, and how many horses do you have?
We have 5 horses.
And your husband also is a proficient rider.
Yes.
Okay. And Karen Bernardi calls you the Annie Oakley of real estate.
I
Okay.
know.
Because you don't only just ride horses, you also shoot.
Right.
Okay. Tell them about that, because it's kind of a unique hobby that you have, because you compete on a national level riding and shooting.
Exactly. My husband and I compete in a sport called cowboy mounted shooting.
Cowboy
Mounted shooting.
and who do you shoot at?
Well, we actually shoot at balloons,
Okay.
but we shoot single action 45s.
Okay.
And they're filled with black powder blanks. And the embers from the black powder is what bursts the balloon if you're at the right distance, at the right speed, and the stars align.
Okay.
And so we compete in that sport. We're avid mounted shooters.
Okay.
And we do a competition probably once to twice a month.
Is that right? And do you have to go someplace, or is it always done at home?
Well, it's typically done in Phoenix. There's going to be one in Las Vegas that I'm going to be
Okay.
here for. But during the summer months, since Flagstaff's so beautiful, we actually host 3 shoots at our property.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So how many competitors in one of your competitions?
We're going to have to cap the next one. We have at 75.
Okay.
So, and with the 15 acres, people bring living quarters trailers and kind
Sure.
of camp out, and we host a big party, and it's a lot of fun. We entertain for 100 pretty much all the time.
Okay. So the real estate business is what supplements the real life that you and your husband have.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it seems like it does it pretty well.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you.
No, that's outstanding. So, how long will you be the Annie Oakley of real estate? Is this something you can do for a long time?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think we have so much fun. The people are great, and you know, it's something that both of us do and,
Okay.
and enjoy. So we get to do that together.
So how much of the business you do in town comes as a result of the fact that they know what you do with your riding and shooting?
Well, I'm part of a horse group in town. I don't do a lot of business from them, but I've
Because?
because I haven't asked for it, but I've just started asking for it, and I've gotten basically a lot more positive response. And so I have street cred as a horse person.
Sure.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So 2-3 years from now, how big can you make the real estate business, or have you pretty much maxed out
Oh, I
the real
don't.
estate sales side?
I don't think I've maxed out. I think I could probably. Well, Lucy does 200
Yep.
deals. So, and you've said that the minimum we should be doing is what, 200?
Minimum.
Minimum 200. So that's going to be my goal for the next couple of years.
Okay. Realistic in your town? Is the town big enough to support that?
Yeah, I don't, at present time, I don't call my past clients or sphere of influence.
Because?
Well, because I end up chit-chatting, and it takes a lot of time, and
Do you stay in touch with them at all?
when they call,
If they call.
yeah.
So where are you getting your business from?
Well, expireds, you know, I like the kind of the chase of the thing.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. I do get a lot of referral business. I'm just not capitalizing on that like I
Okay.
should be.
How big is your past client center of influence file?
It's probably, well, I've been in the business for 25 years, so it's probably maybe 1,800.
So you went for like 20 years just moseying along, to use an expression for a cowgirl, doing a handful of deals.
Right,
And you've got this huge center of influence
right.
that group alone is good for 180 deals a year.
I know, that's why I think I can easily take it to 200.
Okay. So you and each of us has to understand this. That means that you're going to have to modify some of the scripts that you use and refine some of the skills you use to source that business.
Right,
Because you're walking away from a gold mine, aren't you?
right, yes, I understand that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. You know, it's interesting because I think that you're very fortunate, obviously. You get to live the dream of real estate and live the dream of this other part of your life, which you obviously love and enjoy so much.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So what's on your dream board?
What do I?
What kind of things do you have on your dream board? You said they're cowgirl stuff.
Well, I have. We go to the NFR every year here in Vegas, so
Tell them what that is.
National Finals Rodeo, and
It's a big thing in this town, guys and gals. I've never seen as many starched white shirts and belt buckles and cowboy hats in my life. Every December, the town is overrun by cowboys
exactly.
and cowgirls.
So, you know, I like having the best seats at the rodeo. I like staying at the nicest places.
What do the best seats cost at the rodeo?
They cost about $800 a night.
Okay.
So-
And that goes for a week?
Yeah, for as many days as we're here. And, you know, it's just enjoyable to do shopping. A cowgirl can never have too many boots.
Okay.
And,
How many pair of boots do you have?
oh, I don't know, probably 30.
Okay.
But they go with every outfit.
Of course.
And every pad for my horse, and you know, the saddle. You got to match everything.
Of
I mean,
course
you
you
got to
do.
look good. Got to look good out there. So anyway, that's one thing on my board. Also, I would like to build an indoor arena on the back of our property. It's not on my husband's dream board, but it's on mine.
What does that cost?
That'll probably cost about $900, well, maybe $1 million.
Okay. And you're prepared to earn the money to make that happen?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you don't see any end in sight to what you can do through the real estate sales business?
No,
Okay.
thanks to you.
Well, again, as you've heard me say, guys and gals, I had the easy part, you had the hard part. I get to talk about it, you had to go do it. And with the fact that you could build the business to the next level, you see that at some point you would need to go to that past client center of influence side, don't you?
Yes.
Do you have to expand the amount of prospecting you do to make this happen?
I probably would have to initially, you know, on the first call after 4 or 5 years, you know, just to have that kind of catch-up call.
Sure.
But I would definitely ask you, is that me thinking one thing or is that true?
You really don't have to do a catch-up call.
All right.
So ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, Valerie. It's Mike Ferry. This is a business call. Do you have a moment?
Sure.
See what I just did? I
Yeah.
just took a past client and made it a business call
Yeah.
by my opening line. And with your attitude and your smile, they're going to go, what is it, Valerie? And then after you say, do you have anybody that wants to buy or sell, then you can, if you choose to, say, do you, what's going on, how have you been, how are the kids, if you choose to. Or
Okay.
you can say, talk to you soon.
Okay.
So you could change this real quickly, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to have to expand those, say, from, right now you have appointments at 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock, okay? And you're prospecting 2 hours a day. Can you keep that schedule and still be a cowgirl at 3 and do your business?
Well, the answer to that is yes. I'm just going to have to figure it out.
Or you have to get a lighted arena so you can show up at 4 o'clock to ride the horse and do more business.
Right, absolutely.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So you're very unique in what you do. We met Valerie, I think about 4 years ago, I guess. We were doing a 4-day action workshop in Phoenix, Arizona, at a terrible hotel. The roof was leaking. We had buckets on the floor because it was raining outside. We were not staying there, needless to say. And Valerie approached us because she went through a very tragic part of her life. Tell them briefly what you've gone through.
Well, I kind of say that I have the experience of a much older person because
Yes.
I lost my daughter when she was 14 and a half from complications from diabetes.
Yes. Which is very unusual,
Right.
very tragic, and very difficult.
Yes.
And she came with that $1 million smile to Sabrina and I at an action workshop and said, I'm doing a fundraiser in charity for my daughter for this particular difficult situation. And we raised some money that day, didn't we?
Yeah.
We raised, I don't know how much,
Like $4,500.
in a virtually a couple hours at our
Yeah,
workshop.
it was awesome.
She stood up and
Yeah.
she told the people what she was doing, and
Right.
the audience responded like that. And
Yeah, they
and
were
we,
great.
And we virtually walked out, Sabrina and I, that day after lunch, and we said, this lady's going to be a friend of ours forever because she has that type of magnetism, which you have,
Thank you.
which anybody could have if they choose to display it. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
So the truth is, you went through a very difficult time, and now you're going through some terrific times, and you can do a lot of things for other families that go through the same thing because of your charitable work that you do, correct?
Absolutely. I'm very blessed.
You're very blessed. That's right. And a lot of people are blessed because of that,
Oh, well, thank you.
which is very nice. So, Valerie, we have a minute or so left. You want to say something. You say, okay, I've got all these people watching this DVD today, and I want to say something impactful to help them in their business. They can't all be cowgirls. They can't all stop at 3. What would you say to them to help them in their business?
Well, I would definitely say that the one thing, even being in the business for 25 years, that I've really learned from you guys is to just don't fight it. Just do what you say, and it will all definitely come about. It's awesome. The people in your organization are great, and I'm just very fortunate to be at the right place at the right time. And I think everybody really needs to be here and be supported in this environment. And I just so appreciate all of the positive energy and words that you give us every single day.
Good.
Because literally that's the first word I hear that starts my business day, and that I build on that from the day.
Good for you.
So thank you so much for that.
So it's there for those that want it.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
So let's go get it. See you next time. Thanks. Thanks, Valerie.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.